Welcome to Coffee Connect, everybody. I'm Roddy. I'm the host. We do these every Tuesday. We have great conversations. We get an opportunity to meet some amazing individuals, right, and build some great relationships with people. But also, we just get to learn some things that maybe we didn't know before. Often, we learn things about ourselves that maybe we didn't know before, right? And I think that's huge when it comes to trying to improve in our skill sets, our talents, and on our journey as we grow, right? That we try to learn things and we continue to build upon those things. If you enjoy today's conversation and you want to come back and you want to have a understanding of maybe what the next topic might be and stuff, feel free to email me, ccinfo@addictedtoconnecting.com. I'm happy to add you to the invite list. As well, guys, you can always go back and check out past episodes at www.addictedtoconnecting.com. On there, it'll give you a layout of our group here, our family that we've accomplished over the last 6 years, right? As well, the past episodes will be linked to our YouTube channel that you can go back and look at past discussions that we've had, right? And so last week's discussion was beyond the algorithm. It was about discovering your talents and skill sets, right? And figuring out how does that either raise the value of AI, right? Or how do we show our organizations, our companies, our clients, right? How our value is made much better, right? And much bigger than just a computer system, right? And so the QR code actually goes to the what's it called? Assessment that we did, right? And I would encourage you, if you didn't get that assessment, feel free to screenshot that or something right now so that you can hopefully go back and take it. It takes about 15 minutes, right? I think most of us, like, raise your hand if you took it last week and you feel like it was valuable, right?
I
Man,
think you're not sharing your screen right now.
what? Now I got to go back and do that whole thing all over again. I'm just kidding.
Now we have to imagine the QR code for
Yeah,
ourselves.
yeah. So real quick, I am going to go back for again. If you want to email me, there's the information for emailing as well. The website. I'll give you a couple seconds if you want to screenshot that, right? And we can put that in the chat, or hopefully Jeff or somebody can help me accommodate that and put that in the chat. There is your QR code for Beyond the Algorithm, right? As I said, I think all of us learned something about ourselves last week and really helped to identify the talents and skills that we are passionate about and want to continue to pursue into our next career path or into our journey that we are today, right? And so anybody else? I didn't mean to jump on there real quick, but anybody else? Going once, going twice. All right. And so this week is all about reconstructing success. If you remember, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, we did a learning to fail exercise with the green jelly bean fun that we had, right? This is another one of Dr. Denon's exercises he sent me, right? And I just thought this was a great way to do this. And as in true nature, because Dr. Denon does all of his exercises in person with his students, right? I had to adapt this and adjust it a little bit. And I think it's going to work out just great. But I think also, I think it's going to allow us to learn a little bit more about each other, but also get creative today in some things. And some of you guys might be like, a Zoom-based rapid replica challenge. Like, what are we going to do? First of all, let me frame this as in the Duke University's set that they did, right? And so he brought everybody into class and he said, your job today, as he broke them up into groups of 3 and 4 people, was to use anything that they could use within the classroom to build a replica of something, right? The Eiffel Tower, the Washington Monument, a replica of something, right? And it got them all being creative and stuff. And then at the end, there was some debriefing as far as who took leadership roles and things like that, right? That was huge, because it's always the debrief in his stuff, in his lesson plans, right? That probably is the most valuable piece. It's not so much the building of the piece, right, or whatever, right? But more along the lines of the debrief to figure out what people learned along the way. And so today is real simple, right? We're gonna have a replica build. We're gonna go to breakout room for about 20, maybe even 30 minutes, based on how many people are here. We might be able to just go a little bit longer. And we are going to build something right now. We don't have, because we are on Zoom, I can't just say, hey, I want you to start building the Eiffel Tower or something like that, or some replica. So I had to pick something, and I feel like this is applicable, right, to what we are going to do, right? And then when we come back, we're going to obviously, each group will debrief their challenges maybe they came across or something like that as well, showcase kind of the lessons they learned, right? And so does anybody not understand the concept yet as far as what we're going to do? Good, right? The constraints are, right, you're allowed to use your talents, your skills of the people that are in your group, as well anything that you have physically located next to you, and your digital tools that you have, right? And so these aren't going to be physical builds as much as it is mental builds, right? And the goal is either to replicate something or to find a product, object, or business or something like that and make it better with the talents, the skills, and the people that you have in your room. Okay. And so I kind of went through these already. Your constraints are your talents, your skills, the digital tools, and your surroundings. I don't think anybody's ever going to go outside and purchase something outside of this to come in and do something in Coffee Connect, right? But God bless you if you do, right? And you're going to have about 20, we'll call it 20 to 25 minutes, right? And so here are some ideas of which you will be able to replicate. Feel free to screenshot this, right? You can replicate a business or a business model, right? An app or a website, right? If you know an app out there, right? Maybe it's the applicant tracking system. Oh, wait a minute. Did I say that out loud? Right. Maybe maybe it's LinkedIn, right? How can you make LinkedIn better? Maybe it's a physical product, your phone, the yellow sticky pads. I don't find a physical product that you can make better. That is fine, right? That you can replicate and make better. Why do I say make better? Well, because if all we're doing is making the same thing, right, there are some copyright infringements. And if you can make something better, then let's try and make it better or alter it in some way that we make it our own, right? A system or a process, a program or a curriculum, right? Anything that maybe frustrates you, that you can replicate and make better, right? Any questions on this? Right. One last thing is
one question.
Yep.
The entire thing has to be done within the scope of this session?
Yes. You got 20 minutes. You got 20 minutes to create a business or an app or 20 minutes, right? The good news is we're not looking for perfection. We're looking for you to get started and start thinking and brainstorm these things, right? And so different people are going to take on different roles. You don't have to identify these roles or whatever, right? I'm just kind of throwing this out there, but I want you to take a couple minutes on the front end to identify who I am, what skills do I bring to the table here, right? And then use the rest to hopefully figure out what product or business or app or whatever else that you guys are going to improve upon. When we come back, every group's going to have 2 to 3 minutes to show me or show us what you replicated. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing right there because we don't need that anymore. I am going to break out these breakout rooms. I think we got everybody back here. So the challenge was that using only your talents, your skills, the digital tools, and whatever was physically around you today, right? You were tasked with reconstructing or replicating or improving something that already exists in the world. And then we're going to ask you to prove that it works. You're like, what? I got to prove it works. What? Right. And so, listen, there's no grades here, obviously, and no, Darcy, you're not going to get fined. Right. Right. We talked about that in the room. I just kind of want to know, what does the original version look like, and how does yours match it or beat it? What role did the team take on? Right, there are different people in your group. Which one, who took on different roles, and what do you think is the one thing that is going to make your version successful or make it different than maybe what already exists? And just as some guidelines, right? I know some of you already were starting to work on this, right? That you can name it, right? You might not be able to show it because we're not physically sitting here. We didn't have time to go build an app or whatever else, right? But hopefully you can kind of give us a good visual of what we're talking about here, right? And then defend it and reflect upon it. I've got some questions I think I'm going to continue to ask each of you as we go, but we're going to start randomly with a number that I went through in the order in which I came into the groups, because that was a random number that I chose as I was going through throughout the groups. And so group number 4 is up first. We're going to call them, well, I don't even know what their finished product was, but it was going to be technologically something, right? Something involving technology and stuff. And so Darcy, Diane, Daniel, I think you're the pitcher.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the pitcher. So, raise your hand if you have ever gone to your doctor's appointment or a provider's appointment, and even though we are in the 21st century, they say the doctor wants you to fill out this assessment. Has anybody found themselves in this? Well, one of the members of our team, Diane, she gets this every week because she's currently going to physical therapy. And the information is always the same. Our solution is something that we call personal health passport. It builds on some of the technology that's already available in the marketplace. It's very similar to what is already available on some of your phones, where you can list your medical information, your emergency information. But imagine going to your doctor's office and say, "Oh, you need me to fill the thing out here. Here's a barcode. Just scan this thing here, and it's got all of the information automatically updated, and it connects to the provider's electronic management medical record system." Some of the thoughts that we've done is, me and Diane, I was just glancing at this. She submitted a prompt into Google Gemini, and it came back with some test code, even of describing like some of the requirements that we would need to do this. Darcy suggested we look at using Claude Code to leverage this, but this will be an app that's available on both Android and Apple, and it would connect to. We would host it on Amazon Web Services. The database would be there, and it would be one of those things that would be we would remove some of the unnecessary friction that happens when you show up at your provider, and remove on some of the unnecessary friction, and also improve the time that you're there at the doctor's office. Instead of spending the time, you arrive for your appointment only to have to spend the extra time filling this paper out. Now you can get to see your provider a lot faster. They can work through their patients a lot faster. Lamar, you have a question?
I wanted to expand that and say, in addition to having the questions, you might also include in there the help them prepare questions they might ask on a separate segment, because
yeah, and as I was looking,
but you have to simplify it, because as you get older, you will have many more doctor's appointments.
Right. So let's just look. I'm looking through some of the things that it contains: your demographics, your emergency contact, insurance and payer information, allergies, medical conditions, medication history, procedures and treatments, and any other vital or device data that it currently exists.
So I'm curious, what resources or challenges amongst the group, the group that you had, might you have come across at that point?
This is one of the things.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, go ahead, Darcy.
I was just going to say, one of the biggest challenges that we had is we're not a room full of developers. And so we're going to leverage a little bit of the AI world to help us, from whether it's Claude Code or using Gemini to actually write the program. I've got 25 plus years working with database applications, so I'm going to sign up to be the lead QA analyst and make sure that when you fill out the form, that it's going in through what Daniel failed to mention was we'll use application programming interfaces or an API call to allow the healthcare application providers with their EHR system to then receive the data. It's got a public and a private key, so you hold the private key. They have to subscribe on the other side to be able to get the information. And then so making sure that we're not no half-baked cookies, because we're dealing with health information. It has to be done right, not just
Awesome.
I detest what they call minimal viable product. If it's minimal, then it shouldn't be released yet.
I like it. I like it. Listen, and because of time, guys, right? Give it up for group one. All right. Great job. And listen, I will tell you on because I hopped around to everybody's group. I think everyone has some awesome things that they're trying to solve, right? And so up next, saving the cost of food across the world. Give it up for group two, Jeff. I can't remember who else was in that, because I moved you guys all around in the event that we get a chance to go to a second one. Jeff, Nancy, go ahead.
Oh, so Manu and me. Yeah. Sorry. Pam was here. Sorry. Our problem that we decided to tackle was we don't like how expensive food is, and we figured that the basic solution to a cost problem is you increase supply or decrease demand. But we decided to tackle it from another angle, which was the refrigeration logistics angle. So if the food waste is an issue, increasing supply by decreasing food waste might be a more efficient way than some of the other options out there. And we started looking at what could be done to decrease food waste. And it turns out refrigeration is the key there. So our concept is a business model for a refrigeration logistics company using using solar panels on the trucks to reduce the costs and create greater efficiencies in the food transportation. So we looked at if there were companies doing that. There are some experimenting with it, and we didn't really go deep into the design either. We could form a logistics company in this country doing the same thing as other logistics companies. So a proven business model that will transport food at a lower cost and for longer distances, because the refrigeration systems are more efficient.
I like it. I like it. If you had another 20 minutes, I'm curious, what would you guys add or change about your original plans right now?
We probably start working on using the AIs to help generate viable business plans rather than just spitballing it. So
yeah. It's amazing what you can get done in 20 minutes, though, with the ideas.
I used an AI to come up with some names. I like Reefer Madness Logistics the most. These refrigerated trucks as e-reefers.
I like it. Any questions for group two?
Not a question, just one funny little note about some of the systems that exist. When I was driving reefer trucks, one company that I worked at, their idea of refrigerating was just throw the corn into the front of the truck and pile thousands of pounds of ice into the back. So pretty much anything you come up with is going to be an improvement for some of these companies that I drove for.
Oh, wow.
So awesome. Give it up for group two.
I don't like that.
So the next one is by far one of the most unique ideas I think that we had today. Replicating a business model, right, with a business product line, I should say. Everyone has heard of Build a Bear. And maybe I'll get this wrong. What about Build a Backpack? That was Rita. Okay. Rita, Tim, whoever is going to lead that.
Yeah, this started because I got back from a backpacking trip this weekend was using a new pack, and there's certain features I like about it. There's certain features that my old packs had that I missed. And so the idea was, man, wouldn't it be awesome you just build what you get what you want, right? Build your own backpack. And so that's kind of how the conversation started. And Rita was talking about bike backpacking, having some of the same issues. So the concept was, we coined it build a bear, build a backpack, where you literally can just pick your backpack size, whatnot, and pick the features that you want and design it yourself. And then we would build it. And I was blown away. Chris and Rita both were like using AI. Chris, you want to share the picture screen?
I'll share the screen. I'll share a screen that has both items.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So both of the images Rita's about to show are available in the chat for anyone to kind of look on their own.
You try to.
We didn't really come up with names. However, I saw at the top on the right, Pack Forge. That was kind of cool. But this was the left-hand side is kind of like maybe the marketing piece. The right-hand side, I don't know, Chris, you could answer it better, but behind the scenes are kind of how you build your pack, and then it's custom made for you the way you want it.
Yeah.
That way you have more say on every strap, every button. How do you want a little pocket here? Do you want a big pocket here? How do you do this activity and what is your need and requirements?
Wow. Like you guys went far beyond the expectation here, right? Are you going to send those order forms out so we can start ordering like right away, or right?
I think it's go big or go home. So we went big.
Man, that is absolutely the truth, right? I mean, if you guys didn't know any better, you would have thought this was a business that had been around probably for years, right? And stuff. And so great job. Any questions for group one? Awesome, guys.
Well,
What AI did
question,
you use to build?
Will you be able to shrink the pack as you age?
Sure.
Depends on how
So
you
for the
customize
AI, we actually use two separate systems. Rita, I believe, used ChatGPT to create the marketing mock-up, and then I used Claude to create the web interface mock-up. So these are actually two completely different AI systems taking the same idea and developing unique approaches to the same, essentially the same request.
Awesome. Yeah. Great job, guys. Hey, last but not least, it's 10:55. We got one more group here. I jumped into this group, and this is the group of finance people with the one IT professional that decided they were going to generate an app. And so give it up for group three: Joe, Lamar, Carol, right? And that was it.
And I joined at the end. Yeah.
And then Paul, I threw Paul in there as a
I'm gonna let Lamar run this one.
Paul came in as the CEO and said, "What are you guys doing?"
I'm going to pass because you took better notes.
Oh, you're killing me. Okay, this was Lamar's idea, but I think that the job seekers in the group will like this. We couldn't decide if we should build it inside of LinkedIn or build a separate app, but it would be an app to help you network beyond your current industry, beyond your current network, and beyond your current network. Everybody tells you go network,
And your current location. How? And your current location. Your location, your
geography,
network.
or I thought I did.
Oh.
But beyond your industry, beyond your geography, beyond your current network, and just to help you network better, and probably it would be better tucked inside of LinkedIn rather than trying to restart from scratch. But that there would be videos to try to videos or maybe TED Talks, things how to help you network better than what you've been doing previously, and kind of go that way.
Yeah. And so
I
whether it was an
like it.
extension inside LinkedIn or an app, I think everyone can agree that networking can be intimidating. And if we pick up tips and tricks along the way that help us understand how to network, it would be huge. I would tell you, I've talked to a lot of college students that are graduating right now. They're either graduating looking for opportunities, or they're in this mode of their going into their junior year and they're looking for co-op opportunities. And many of them don't understand that I've got to go make friends with people, right? I've got to go build relationships so I can get connected to the people that can hire me on these companies in a co-op sense, right? Over the next couple of years. And so I think it's huge. Any questions for group 3? Hey, first of all, give it up for all of you, man. Everybody, I think, found a problem today to create a solution around, right? And that's really where business starts. And we're all business-minded individuals. We all have either we're in that job search mode, and we got to keep those skill sets fresh, right, and at the top of our mind as we continue to work through things and problem solve for as silly as what it was today's task, right, or challenge. But also to take those talents, right, and skills to the companies and organizations out there that can use them. And so, as always, man, you guys, you had everything you needed, right? You always had what you needed, right? Today just proved that success isn't about having all the right conditions. It's not about having every tool in front of you. You can get creative and start to think and put things down on paper that you can start to take action on. Well, who enjoyed this week? We'll take up the energy level from where it was, right? So hopefully you had a good time, man. And next week we'll have a good time too with Networking Chaos, right? It'll be the 1st of June. So hopefully anybody here in Cincinnati, I will also see you at HR Roundtable next Tuesday. For those of you that are friends of Fred Eck, this Friday is his memorial service, right? His celebration of life over in Westchester. If you need that information, just reach out to me. Happy to get it to you. For the rest of you guys, go out there, have a great week. And remember, I love you guys.
See y'all.
Have a great week, everybody.